On average, adults in the US read a grand total of 4 books in a year. To be fair, most people within your immediate circles probably read even less than that, which is a real shame because books have the power to completely transform your life. They are packed with knowledge and experience from thought leaders and experts who have had years and years of research and experience in their field, and all we really need to do to tap into that knowledge is just to spend a few hours reading their book. If you want to learn how to start your own business or be a better partner or just learn how to be happy in life, never in the history of the world have we had easier access to all of this knowledge at our fingertips. So I read around 50 to 70 books on average a year, and this is with a full-time corporate job. And it's not as if I don't sleep or I don't spend time with friends or I don't do other things beyond just like reading and working. The reason why I point this out is because I want to show you that it is completely possible to keep up a habit of reading whilst maintaining a balanced life. So in this video, I'm going to give you 5 really easy, actionable tips that you can apply right now in order to read more books. Tip number 1, learn to love the process of reading so much that you make it into a habit. So this tip is a little different to the other ones that I'm about to give you because it's more of a mindset thing, but I wanted to start off with this one specifically because I think it's probably one of the most important tips I'm going to give you today. And if you were to just take one thing from this video, let it be this. Make reading into not just a thing that you do, but something that you genuinely enjoy. When you enjoy something, it becomes easy and you'll naturally just want to do more of it. On this channel, the motto that I will repeat over and over again is that the biggest return on investment that you will ever get is when you invest in yourself. This means investing in your learning, investing in your self-growth, investing in improving yourself. So really just appreciate the fact that you're pouring all this goodness and all this knowledge into your life by reading all these books. Once you have that foundational belief, then implementing all these tips that I'm about to give you is gonna be much easier. Tip number 2, this is something that I like to call the small chunks method, or SCM for short. People in general are so time-starved these days, especially if you're working full-time or if you're a college student. It's rare to have big chunks of time during the day. So instead of waiting for these big chunks to materialize, which they never really do, split your reading into smaller chunks throughout the day. This could be for as little as 10 minutes whilst you're having your morning coffee, or for 30 minutes just before going to bed. And this method is really powerful because these small chunks throughout the day will really accumulate over time. So let's visualize this a little bit. Let's say you decide to only read for 30 minutes before bed every single day. That accounts for 3.5 hours of reading accumulated over the week. Say it takes 1 minute to read 1 page. On average, a book is maybe around 300 or so pages. So let's assume that's 300 minutes to finish a book, which is around 5 hours. So if you manage to do 3.5 hours of reading in a week, that's already 70% of 1 book, which means you would have almost finished an entire book within just a week. Let's say at that pace you manage to read on average 3 books in a month. That translates to 3 times 12, which is 36 books in a year. And if you remember that most adults in the US only read around 4 books on average in a year, that's already 9 times the average number of books read by the American adult. If you can somehow squeeze in an hour a day instead of just half an hour, that's 36 times 2, which is 72 books in a year that you could be reading, and that's all thanks to the compounding effects of the SCM method. Tip number 3, track your books and reading. So I've been using Goodreads for years. If you're not familiar with it, it's a site or app that you can use to search for book titles and then see what the reviews are and what people have written about those books. But the good thing about Goodreads is that you can basically track everything. On your profile, you can add books to currently reading, want to read, or have read. You can set your reading goal so that you can see your 5 out of 20 books into your reading goal for the year. Almost like a game where you're leveling up each time. Tip number 4, bring your book everywhere with you. If you're heading out and you know there's going to be some wait time, then this is the perfect opportunity to apply the SCM or small chunks method. Let's say you're going to the doctor's or you're meeting up with a friend that you know always shows up late. You can read whilst waiting for the doctor to call your name or whilst waiting for that friend to show up. Making sure that you have your book on hand with you at all times ensures that you don't squander that precious reading time. Tip number 5, find your preferred reading medium. I tend to notice that people have this rigid perception of reading where it's like they're imagining this person specifically with a paperback sitting on the sofa and reading for hours and hours. But honestly, books and reading come in several different forms nowadays. And I want to just expand your perception of reading just a little bit because it's important to choose the right medium for you depending depending on how you best take in and learn information, and also based on when and where you are most likely to do your reading. You've got your paperbacks, you've got your e-readers such as your Kindle and your Kobo, you've got your phone where you can download the Kindle app, you've got audio such as Audible. Personally, I like to alternate between paperbacks and my Kindle because I'm more of like a visual learner. But if you're a person that commutes to work or you drive to work and you like listening to things, then an audiobook is something that would be immensely beneficial to you. If you want to read on the go, but you're not the kind of person that can learn through audio, and you're also not very keen on lugging around like heavy physical books or an e-reader, then you always have your phone. We're carrying this thing with us everywhere we go. And you can whip it out whenever and wherever, even if you're stuck in the train sandwiched in between people. So figure out what works best for you and then use that to your advantage. So guys, those are the 5 tips that I have for you today. If you enjoyed the content and found it valuable, then please do check out my previous video that I posted last week about time management and how your current time management strategy is probably not serving you and is actually detrimental to your productivity and also your quality of life. So if you're interested in that, please do check out that video, and I'll see you next time. Bye!